Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another speed build. It is time for a lakefront property. I decided to create a lake which turned out to be smaller than I would have liked, and I built a mansion in front of said lake. So I built this on a 64 by 64 lot in Del Sol Valley, and even though this is the biggest lot size available, the lot wasn't big enough for what I had planned. So I really had to squeeze everything on this lot. So I wanted to have a lake area, then I built the garden, outdoor area, whatever, and then I built a house, of course. So this was really tough, and as you can see here at this point, or as you will see, I'm going to adjust this whole area over and over again. I'm going to reduce the size of the lake a little bit. I'm going to change the dimensions of this area over there. There will be a pool, and I decided to go for different watercolors for the lake and the pool, so there's a visible difference, and I think it turned out to be quite nice. It's a really luxurious mansion, and I wanted to have an area where there's just lawn really, and your Sims can just hang out on the lawn. It's really beautiful. There are a lot of trees and flowers and all that. Then there is an area for just having a party. So you may have spotted this in the beginning of the video. There is like a room at the very bottom on the left side, and this is technically just a party room, including a bar, a dance floor, stuff like this, and you will see what I'm talking about. So my initial vision was the lake, and I just built a pool for this, and this is the cool thing. You can just use a pool to create a proper lake, a pond, a river, especially in combination with the terrain tools. If you want to create a river, for example, I'd always advise to use the terrain tools. So you could use the terrain tools to lay out the shape of your river, and then you just build a pool at the very bottom, and then you can use some rocks on the sides. And here in this case, I just built the pool, and later on I'm going to use some debug rocks to make it look more natural. I mean, I don't want this to look like a pool, so of course I had to use a lot of rocks for this. So this is the lawn area, and I used a Strangerville debug object for this. There's kind of a problem with this object though. I still used it. So you can't click on the lawn itself and tell your sim to go over there. I still used it though because it looks beautiful. It's a relatively small area, and I placed a couple of sofas over there, so you can simply click on the sofa and tell your sim to go over there and sit down. Of course you could just remove it. This is like the problem. I also tried to build a basement, and then I raised it up a little bit, but not only did it not work, there was also like a weird, I don't know how to describe it, like a weird glow. You could kind of tell where the basement was below, so this didn't work out, so I just used it this way. If you want to use this debug object, a word of advice, I would recommend to hold down Alt on your keyboard so you can freely position this object, and this way you can really create a seamless lawn area, because there is a very small gap in between each object when you place like a couple of those. So I really had to adjust the position later on. So this is kind of something that I noticed, because I had to place a couple of those. You could also size them up and then combine a couple of them. So I just love the pattern. It looks beautiful. I also tried to recreate something like this using just floor tiles, also for another build in the past, but it's just not the same look. This is, if you want this look, you just have to use this Strangerville debug object, I guess. And then I placed a lot of hedges around this, so I wanted there to be a lot of details. I combined different hedges. I used the base game one. I also used a debug one, and then I was just adding more and more stuff. I was putting a heavy focus on working with different levels here, and as I've explained before, you can always do that by simply connecting different levels using stairs, and then you can fill the gaps using some rocks or just anything really, so it looks really seamless. So here at this point, it's really visible where I connected the different areas, and there are some gaps in between the foundations and all that, but later on I'm going to take care of this. And you could also use the base game hatch that I used on the right side, for example. It's just perfect to fill in those gaps. And I knew that I was going for a white color scheme. I used a lot of white for the columns, doors, and the stairs and all that. So here at this point, I just kind of knew what I was going for. and I wanted to create a contrast. This is why I decided to use the seasons fences. And then here on the left side, I just built this, I don't even know, just want to have an area where you have just a ceiling above the patio area or something. But later on I'm going to expand the build over there, so I got rid of this. But here at this point I had no idea what to do. And then, as you can see here, I readjusted kind of the whole lawn situation. I added more, I changed the size. So this was really difficult. Sometimes when I'm trying to figure out a build, sometimes the dimensions are just wrong and I don't know what to do. To me, it's like when you draw and you start to draw and then you notice that you would like to have it more to the left or to the right, that you just started in the wrong place. And the good thing in The Sims is that you can always just change stuff. You could even change the position of all your objects. You can just move the whole lot, and this is just amazing. This is why I was so salty when the option to move the lot wasn't working. Like, there was a weird bug at some point where it was almost impossible to move a lot or to rotate a lot, and I really enjoy this function. And unfortunately, though, there is a really similar bug that I noticed a couple of weeks ago. It was telling me that a roof was missing. I don't know what roof, but I couldn't rotate the whole lot, and I was really sad. But this seems to be more random. Like when we had the issue with the other bug back then, it was happening all the time basically. As soon as you used the terrain tools, for example, as soon as a build was a bit bigger, it just happened. I don't know why, but now this new bug seems to be more random, and so it doesn't happen all the time basically, which is great. I'm happy about that. And then I added these planting pots. They are base game planting pots. You can find them in the debug menu, and here you can see how I'm changing their size, and you may have spotted something new. So tool was updated, and the tool mod now has a precision scaling feature, which is amazing. I actually wanted to talk about this in my last speed build, but then I was talking about a lot of other different things, and now I'm finally talking about this. So there's this new feature. You know how we can change the size of objects in The Sims 4? You can just make something smaller or bigger and all that, but it's not really precise. Like sometimes you want to change the size of a rug, for example, and it's like too small. So it's too small for a dining table, for example, and then you want to size it up one step, but suddenly it's so big that it's bigger than your room, for example. So now with this new function that was introduced to the tool mod, you can simply change the size more precise, and you can just change it in very small steps essentially, which is amazing. So I did that for these planting pots, and I was playing around with other new features. And there's also a gravity pull feature, which means that you select an object, and then when you hold on Alt on your keyboard and you click somewhere, it just slowly moves through your mouse, which is just amazing. So I'm really happy about this update, and I've talked about this mod a lot in the past because I really love it, but I just had to mention all the new features. So if you haven't tried out the tool mod yet, now it's time to do so. It's like amazing. So I was using all these new functions here, so in case you spotted something new, then this is why. And also, in case you are new here, this lot is still completely unmodded in the gallery, which is what makes this mod even more amazing. You can do all these things. You can upload your lot to the gallery, and the person who downloads your lot doesn't need the mod. It's still unmodded, and all the objects still have the correct size and position. So this is just amazing, and I've noticed that it has become so popular. So many builders are now using this mod, which is just amazing. A lot of people have discovered how creative you can be with this mod, and there are Simmers who are so creative with this mod. I could never. Like, someone built a whole spaceship. She's called Phantasm. She's just so talented, and when I saw her spaceship, I was like, what is going on? I could never. I'm just building mansions. It's just crazy what you can do in this game, even without any mods. There's just a new world of possibilities because of this mod. But even before the mod, Simmers have been creating absolutely outstanding creations. And as I said, I'm just here building mansions, and all these fantasy builds that are out there are just absolutely outstanding. I love my mansions, and I love this type of build, but some of the stuff is just out of this world amazing, and I just love to look at these creations. It's just wonderful. And here I'm working on the house, and the house is relatively slim, but it's still huge. I don't even know how many bedrooms there are, like 8 or something. It's like really huge. There's also a spa area, including a home gym and a sauna, so there is a lot happening in this build. It's really big, even though I used a good chunk of the lot to work on the landscaping, and I even included a lake as I said, but the house is still big, and furnishing this like took a long time. And then I decided to include these round balconies, and I wanted to have a round window facade, and for this I used some base game windows and also the tool mod. I've made a tutorial specifically about this. I mean, I made a tutorial covering the whole mod, but in this tutorial I'm explaining how you can create a round shape like this, exactly this. So if you want to build something like this yourself using the tool mod, then you can check out the tutorial. It's on my channel, and I always link my tutorial playlist down below in the description box, so in case you're interested you can do that. You can just check it out. And it just expanded the build really, and the shape of the build itself is relatively simple, I guess. I don't know, it's just not too crazy. I mean, I think it looks really interesting to have these round shapes, but the whole landscaping, the lake, this is the star of the show, and not Judas. I can see Angry Judas in the bottom left hand corner at the moment, and I added a lot of Sims to this lot, to Judas' family. So I created a couple of Sims because I wanted to just include them in the beginning when I was showing the whole build. I just wanted different Sims to hang out in the pool, and just for the beginning of the video. So Judas now has some roomies, a lot of roomies, 7 to be precise. So this was kind of fun. I'm never in CAS really, because I never really play, I never really create any Sims, even though it's so much fun, especially back then before I started my YouTube channel, when I had more time to actually play and not just build. I used a lot of CC, especially for closing, and I had so much fun to create Sims. I was never good at this. Like I'm also not able to create a Sim set, for example. When I'm trying to create a Sim that looks like a real life person, a celebrity or something, I just can't. Like one time back then I tried to create Taylor Swift, and I swear she looked like Carly Kloss, which is weird because they are best friends, or used to be best friends, I don't even know. So I had Carly Kloss in my game, and then I grabbed a Taylor from the gallery. I don't know, I'm just not really good at this. Like, I just can't do it. I still had a lot of fun in CAS, especially picking out clothes and all that. And if you use the C, I think CAS is so much more fun. I used all the alpha hair and all that. I know a lot of people don't like that, and they're like, hey, yeah, Team Maxis match. But I had so much fun using alpha CC. It almost looked like Second Life. It didn't even look like The Sims 4 at some point, which can be weird, because then you have such a strong contrast between the look of your Sims and your build. It just looks like a different game, which is crazy, but it's just amazing. It's like playing Barbie as an adult. It's just so much fun. When I was a kid, I loved my Barbies, and just spending some time in CAS was just amazing to me. I think I should do this again at some point. Like, here I was just quickly creating some Sims for this video, just for the lot and all that, but it was fun. And it was also fun to kind of discover all the new CAS stuff that was added in recent updates or packs. It's just amazing. There's so much new stuff, and the quality has changed so much, like the base game stuff. I've also said this before about objects. There's just a strong difference between the base game stuff and stuff that has been added in updates or packs. It's just crazy. The textures are better. It just looks so great. Also, in case you've missed it, there is a giveaway, an active giveaway. There are still like 1.5 weeks left or something. I announced the giveaway in my last video. I'm going to link it down below in the description box, so you can check it out if you want to. So you can win a Sims 4 pack of your choice for PC. So I'm just going to link it down below, so you can find all the information there, and you can enter the giveaway if you want to. I've recently hit 100k subs on this channel, and I just want to give you guys something back. Thank you so much for your support, for your love, and I'm talking about all these things in my last video. I just wanted to quickly mention it in case you've missed it, so you can go check it out. Also, there are some other absolutely astounding news, I have to say, in the world of The Sims 4. There's going to be a Sims 4 reality show. And when I saw the announcement on Twitter, I was like, what is happening? Is this real life? I was just shocked. And I can't wait to watch it. So there is a Sims 4 reality show called Sparked. And what's amazing is now in season 1, some game changers are participants, but for the second season or for future seasons, just anyone can participate, which is amazing. So if you've already updated your game, there's just something about Sparked in the gallery already, and I think in a couple of days, I'm not sure when, we can participate in some challenges, and then we can qualify for future seasons of Sparked, which is like really, really exciting. Any Sims player can participate, no matter if PC or console, just anyone worldwide. This is at least what I've read on Twitter from some of the gurus, and I'm really excited about this. I'm not sure if I would like to participate, but this is like just really exciting, and I just can't wait to watch it. It seems to be a lot of fun, and it seems to be like the production seems to be so high quality. It really seems like a proper TV show. I mean, this is what it is, but it's like, I don't know, I was just so surprised. And I don't know, let me know in the comments down below if you were surprised, if you've heard about this, if you are going to participate in the challenges, if you would participate in the show, if you would be picked. I don't know, just let me know what you think about this. This is just like really interesting, and I know that a lot of people were kind of, I don't know, shocked, and a lot of people thought about this in a negative way, and I've just seen a lot of negative reactions on Twitter. Not only because not everyone is into reality shows. I love reality shows. This is my guilty pleasure. I love the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, for example. I've talked about this before. I'm just guilty as charged. I just love it. But I've also seen some criticism because some people seem to think that The Sims should have put all the money into the game development and not into marketing, because not only does the production cost something, but you can also win $100,000. So it's a lot of money, but what people have to understand is that the marketing budget is just separate from the budget for the game development. So even if they wouldn't have done a reality show, this money wouldn't have went into the game development probably. This is also what I've read on Twitter a lot. A lot of people were talking about this. So this literally doesn't make a difference. So there were some different marketing campaigns like Play with Life, for example, where they had some celebrities, and I mean, stuff like this also costs a lot of money, and this is like money that is taken from the marketing budget. So there's just no difference. This time around, they just apparently decided to put the money into this type of marketing, and also it's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, now for this season, there are a lot of content creators, a lot of game changers, and a lot of people that we all love and cherish, and I just can't wait to see all these amazing creators participate in all these challenges, and I just can't wait to watch it. I'm just really excited, and I think it's a great thing that for future seasons, anyone can just participate. So it's not like big content creators, game changers and all that, just anyone. And I just can't wait to discover new talented simmers, and I think that especially the future seasons will also be a lot of fun. So I just can't wait, and yeah, we will see what will happen. We will see if we are all going to enjoy it, but I'm definitely looking forward to this. And here at this point in the build, back to the build, I'm working on the interior already, and I just love how the interior turned out. So the interior is quite dark, it's really classy, it's really over the top. I mean, the whole build from the outside, the whole landscaping, just everything is it just screams over the top luxurious mansion. So of course I wanted to have a beautiful prop interior that matches the whole aesthetic, and this is why I just went completely over the top. As you can see here, I combined different counters for the kitchen, for example. I once again decided to go for a open floor plan. At this point, this is my brand, I guess. I don't remember when I haven't created an open floor plan. Like, I don't know, it's always like open kitchen and everything in one huge room. I don't know, this is like, it always happens like this. This is like my favorite type of interior apparently. So I then decided to just change the position of the windows, and I later had to adjust them a little bit because now we have the free window placement. The problem is that they still can't overlap, and then it looks weird because then, I mean, there's just like this visual glitch and you can see the wall inside the window. So I just had to readjust that position a little bit later on. So I wanted to change the height so I could place a sized up version of the curtains, and then I placed the dine-out table at the bottom. I placed some lamps right in front of the windows. These lamps are part of Tiny Living, I think. I hope I'm not wrong. And I just placed them right in front of the window, and they have different heights. Some of them are higher up than others, so I just wanted this to look beautiful. And then I created this dining area, and I combined different tables. In the center I used a regular dining table, and then on the left and right side I used round dining tables. I used the tool mod to elevate both round tables just a teeny tiny little bit so the tables don't overlap, and I just really raised them ever so slightly. You can really tell that they are raised, so it's not visible. Also not at the bottom, they are not like floating or something. So this is just so they don't overlap. And I went for really dark colors. It almost looks like industrial. I used a lot of gray and this dark wood, and it's like super dark and almost gloomy, but still really luxurious. I've talked about this before, but this just happens. I just start to work on the interior, and then I just try to combine different colors, and then I mostly start with the kitchen, and then when the kitchen looks good, I just mostly stay within this color scheme and the whole vibe, the whole aesthetic. And this is kind of how the whole interior comes about. This is just how it happens. So I never really make a solid decision on the interior beforehand. I just work on the exterior, the landscaping, and then I just see what happens on the interior. This is like it's just really organic. I just add more stuff, and then I don't know, just have a really dark and gloomy interior suddenly. The outside is much more happier and really bright. I still hope that it looks really inviting and happy, kind of, because I still try to use a bit of white here and there for the rugs, for example, the bar stools, the kitchen itself, which is from Vampires. The Vampire pack is just amazing for mansions. I've talked about this before back then, but my favorite packs for mansions would be Get Famous, of course, Vampires, and the Jungle Adventure pack. This always sounds weird, but the Jungle Adventure pack has amazing floors and wall decorations, just different things that are just perfect for mansions for some reason. And this is the living room, and luckily your Sims won't have some stiff necks because this is just a live simulation and not real life, but the TV is really high up there because I added these windows. They are base game windows which were added to the game in a patch, I don't know, at some point last year I think, or maybe this year, I don't remember. And I added these windows to the kitchen just so there's like a connection between the kitchen and the living room, and then there wasn't enough space to kind of place the TV in between them. I didn't want to have a super tiny or small TV for this really luxurious living room area, so I just decided to place it high up. So, but as I said, your Sims won't be in any pain. This is not real life, so this is okay. They won't have a stiff neck. And then I worked on the bathroom, which is part of the whole gym and sauna spa area. I wanted to have a really wide, minimalistic bathroom, and I just added lots of decorations. I wanted to have this bathtub, and then I added different tables behind the bathtub, and then I added some base game shelves over the tables. It's just like some custom, I don't even know what this is. I just wanted to be a bit creative with this. I also added some spa day decorations. I just wanted this to be really luxurious, and I also wanted to make sure that I would add enough bathrooms for the whole build. There are 3 stories. It's a huge build. So if you are into huge builds, and if you like to play with huge families, and if you would like to have a butler and all this, then this is the perfect home for you and your Sims. Sometimes I build on big lots like 64 by 64, 50 by 50, but I use a huge amount of the space for landscaping, or sometimes I raise the terrain below the 2nd story or something, so the house itself isn't that big. But here in this case, just a disclaimer, a little warning, this house is really big. So if you would like to play in smaller houses, because you like your houses to be really manageable, you don't want to lose the overview, you don't want to lose your Sims, and you want to keep track of all your Sims, then this house might not be for you. And this here is one of the bedrooms. I didn't include all the bedrooms and bathrooms in the recording. This video is already so long, but this is one of my favorite bedrooms. It's purple. Purple is such a beautiful color, and again, it just happened. I picked this bed, which is part of Eco Lifestyle, and then I just thought, oh my god, it just has this really pastel, beautiful purple, and then I just ran totally crazy with the purple. I added more and more. The lamp on the wall, I didn't even know, it's maybe from this luxury party pack. Maybe I just made this up, I don't know. And then I added the seasons carpet or rug, just all kinds of different things. And this bedroom here is much more minimalistic and clean. The whole color palette is like really muted, just lots of whites and gray, and this is like a big contrast compared to the other bedroom. I said this before, I always try to be, I don't know, I just add lots of different colors and stuff to bedrooms. I think you can really be creative if you work on bedrooms. I really like to have one color scheme and aesthetic for the interior in general when it comes to the kitchen, dining room, living room and all that. But for bedrooms, a bedroom is a really personal, individual space, and I think that each bedroom can look a bit different. I don't think that everything has to be the same kind of style. This is not a hotel or anything. It's a home for people to live in, or for Sims to live in. So I mostly like to just change it up a little bit. This is a kids room, for example. There are multiple kids rooms. This is just pink, and I don't know, I just love to work on pink rooms. They always look so happy and inviting for some reason, just like yellow, like such a happy color. I'm not really a pink person, but whenever I just work on pink rooms or something, it just makes me happy. Such a happy color. And then I started to work on one of the other bedrooms. So for some rooms, there are no windows. You can see on the right side, and you can tell that there is a roof going all around the room. You can now see it a little bit on the right side. So this was kind of difficult, and sometimes I like to include some skylights for rooms like this, but here it wasn't really working. So there are no windows, and this is kind of the problem when you use this type of roofing. At first I didn't want to furnish the top floor because of this, but then I figured it would be sad to just leave it empty. Sometimes some rooms are just part of the roofing, in my opinion, so for some builds I do this, but here in this case, because it was such a huge area, I just used more lamps, so it is what it is. And this here at the bottom, this is the room at the very bottom on the left side that I mentioned earlier. So this is just a really fancy party room. So Sims can hang out above this room. I placed these tables and just chairs. So this is just like, I just wanted to connect the outdoor area where Sims could have a party with an indoor party area, I guess. So this is just a really fancy party room. And this is it, guys. As always, I included some screenshots so you can check out the build here, including the floor plan. You can find this build in the gallery, fully furnished, CC free and modded. As always, you can find all the information in the description box, including the giveaway that I mentioned. So I hope you have a perfect day and a perfect week. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I see you in the next video, because as I mentioned in my last video, the shell challenge is coming soon. So I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.